All right, point number 7, Chris. Newcastle, can they end their trophy drought this weekend in the Carabao Cup final against Manchester United? So I'm seeing, is it 68 years it has been since they've won a domestic trophy? Is that where we're at right now for Newcastle?
Yeah, I think 64, I think, maybe.
Okay.
1969.
Okay.
Yeah, 1969 was the last time.
I'm not here to math.
Yeah, no, I had to look it up. But they won a trophy called the Fairs Cup, which was the precursor to the UEFA Cup and has now become the UEFA League, I guess. UEFA League, is it? Yeah. So it's an old trophy, and 1969 they won it last, and it's been a long time for those Newcastle fans. Like I was saying to them, like I was saying earlier on in the show, the Geordies, the Newcastle fans, they are desperate. They're desperate for silverware, and they're up against an in-form Man United. I hope just to have things shared around a little bit. I again, nothing against Man United. They've won their fair share over the years. Nothing lately. But I hope Newcastle can do it. And I just think they're up against it. They're going to be without the keeper. They're probably going to have their third choice keeper up against it because of the informed Man United. But those fans are going to make they're going to make an atmosphere at Wembley Stadium, and it's going to be a great. I think often the League Cup final can be a bit of a boring affair, and it's now called the Carabao Cup. Forgive me, for years it was the League Cup. They never used to have a sponsor, but lately it's been the last 20 or 30 years, I suppose, has been sponsors. But anyway, the League Cup, yeah, it can be a boring affair unless your team's involved in it. But yeah, I hope that Newcastle can win just to have things shared around, give the Geordies something to cheer about. They've suffered for long enough.
I would love to see Newcastle win this. Just love it. You're right. One, to spread things around. Two, to reward that fan base that has stuck with their team through thick and thin, and those players who have turned this around from that's a team that you're wondering, man, that's an awfully big club to be so close to relegation every single year, to now being close to the top 4 with a really good chance to finish this thing and go to the Champions League. I would love to see them get some silverware, especially if that's the consolation prize for them not having if they're falling out of the top 4, because Spurs are doing a little better and Liverpool seems to be in form right now. I just don't believe it's going to happen, though. And it comes down to Nick Pope at the end of the day. And I know Hal said that he pointed it out, and I agree with him completely. It is absolutely ridiculous that you're going to miss a cup tie because of a red card situation that happened during a Premier League match. But them's the rules. And so I don't know how at the time that I saw him talk about it said he didn't know if there was a way to appeal, but it doesn't seem that there is a way to appeal. You can't use your second choice option because he actually played for United in 2 Carabao Cup matches earlier in the season on loan. So now you're down to your third choice, and it's a guy who hasn't played in years. And so I just have a hard time believing that with your third choice goalkeeper against that Man United team that you're going to be able to bring the silverware home. But I really hope I'm wrong. I really, really do. Am I wrong are me and Hal wrong to be upset that Nick Pope has to sit out a cup final because he got a red card in the match before in the Premier League?
Yeah, I think it's harsh that when he gets the red card in a different competition. I think maybe they should separate the competitions and cards and do things that way. But like you say, if that's the rule, that's the rule. But yeah, that is a big one for Newcastle. It's a big. I think Karius is the next guy up, who had an absolute nightmare for Liverpool in the European Cup final, I think. So yeah, he hasn't done much since then. But yeah, so they're up against it. They were up against it anyway, even if they had Nick Pope in goal against, like I say, inform Manchester United. But hey, it could be their year.